Okay. We've got Commissioner Barrett on Zoom this morning. He had something come up unexpected. Commissioner McGuire, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure, bow with me. Father in heaven, we come thanking you for the day, Lord. We come as humbly as we know how and ask for your guidance in today's meeting, Father. We just pray as always for our county workers and keep them safe, Father, and lead and guide and direct us in all we do. And we ask these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Let's stand with me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Messing with my head, I was like,
Being on with a correspondent from Israel or something. A little behind.
Okay, we'll call this Marshall County Fiscal Court special called meeting, May 7th, 2026 to order. Our first guest, Mr. Kurt Kurtner, EM Director, Rescue Squad update.
Good morning, everybody. Just
Morning.
going to touch base, try to give you guys a quarterly update on the rescue squad activities and everything. First quarter, we had 16 calls, 254 volunteer hours on emergency responses. Most of them were in Lyon County. They had an issue going on over there with a lot of people that wanted to jump off bridges for some reason. But on top of that, the training events, we had over 111 training hours the first quarter. We're also proud to report that all our rescue squad response boats, all the updated sonars have been installed on those, so we're running again with top-of-the-line sonars to help any incidents on the water. All our equipment and operations down there seem to be in good standing right now. I got a few future grant opportunities getting ready to open up. I'm going to get with the squad, see what items we may need for that, and we'll chase after that. We currently have our spring fundraiser ongoing. Our community support is deeply appreciated, and it remains vital to our existence and operation of the squad. We couldn't ask for better support from our community. Pretty much basically that's all I've got for y'all. We're rolling right along as always. Is anything I can answer for y'all, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Kurt, I know you all have been doing fundraising. The rescue squad's not a taxing district. Just want to point that out. The fiscal court does help some with some of the bills and stuff like that and provide a facility, but it is not a taxing district, so we certainly appreciate everyone who supports your fundraisers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, we're not a taxing district, so donations are very, very vital to our existence. So, and we appreciate the community 100% supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Pagel, personnel changes?
Yes, there are a few, more than a few actually. So the personnel changes for April. Jake Boren, Deputy Jailer, termed 4/1/26. Trevin Green, Deputy Sheriff, wage increase to $27 an hour effective 2/1/26. Jason Lane, Deputy Sheriff, wage increase $29.50 an hour effective 4/1/26. Zach Johnson, Deputy Sheriff, wage increase to $31 an hour effective 4/1/26. Clint Holt, Road Department, effective 4/1/26 at $23.10 an hour. Barry Howell, Deputy Sheriff, wage change to $28.50 an hour effective 4/15/26. Trevin Green, Deputy Sheriff, wage increase to $29 an hour effective 4/15/26. Stacy Lukey, Deputy Jailer, effective 4/7/26 at $17.50 an hour. Robin Connor, Parks, term 4/20/26. Katie Bates, Dispatcher, term 4/30/26. Luke Fraley, Deputy Sheriff, term 4/16/26. Spring Rye, full-time to part-time, effective 4/16/26. Jason Lane, retired 4/30/26. Congratulations, Jason Lane. Griffin Cavett, Park Maintenance, effective 4/22/26 at $18 an hour. April Lamb, wage change to $14.79 an hour, effective 4/1/26. Shauna Wadkins, wage change to $16.57 an hour, effective 4/1/26. Tammy Jones, wage change $19.40 an hour, effective 4/1/26. Anita Stevenson, wage change to $13,928.66 a year, effective 4/1/26. Brent Edwards, wage change $18,752.43 a year, effective 4/1/26. Kelly Childs, wage change, $32.70 an hour, effective 4/1/26. Andrea Fralix, wage change, $32.70 an hour, effective 4/1/26. That's it.
Thank you. Under old business, need a motion to approve the minutes from the April 21st meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second. You hear me okay, Marty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2026-03, budget amendment, second reading. Erica?
An ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds, now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 is amended to increase revenue accounts in the total of $145,286, increase expenditure accounts in a total of $145,286. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes, approved by the Marshall County Fiscal Court the 21st day of April 2026, approved as to form and classification the 22nd day of April 2026 by Robert O. Brown, State Local Finance Officer. This amendment to the budget and ordinance was adopted by the Marshall County Fiscal Court, Kentucky on this, the 7th day of May, 2026.
Need a motion to approve and adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Annual bids. We got our bids in for culverts, salt, asphalt, rock, and striping. Need a motion to accept all bids.
Move that we accept all the bids.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The bids for the oil and fuel, need a motion to deny the bids on that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. What? What for? What are we doing?
We just received one bid on that.
Okay.
We had, I think, a report. Someone had went to spam or something. Going to rebid it. Yeah. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to advertise to rebid the oil and fuel.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. County Road Aid Agreement and Resolution. Need a motion to approve and sign.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner McGuire. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion on that?
That's, I guess we'll find out how this executive order affects this. I get it, but this road aid is going to go down substantially if this executive order stays in place for,
Yeah, it was already down.
yeah,
Trending down,
it's already
so.
down anyway, so
Not sure how that'll shake out.
it'll be an interesting year for paving. We need that war resolved, or the Strait of Hormuz opened, one of the two, as quickly as possible.
Need a motion to approve and sign. We had the motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Federal Land Access Program Grant. Need a motion to approve the project application.
Move we approve.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Have we ever, is this a new one to us? Or have we?
This from with the refuge down
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't think, that type of grant, I don't,
It's specific for accessing federal.
that federal
Yeah.
grounds down there.
It's not a grant, it's just an application.
Yeah. Will it go through us?
Will it go through?
I mean, like, but it'll be like a normal grant where if we receive it, I mean, it'll come in to us and we'll,
Yeah, it's 100%.
all of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's for Happy Hollow is what we're applying for. Yeah.
Okay, next item, I started to remove this from the agenda, but we decided to go ahead and do it, and then when the point in time comes, it will already be in place. We had found a semi for the road department and took it out to the road department for the mechanics to go over, and it didn't check out. So we kind of canned that one. So we're still looking, but go ahead and ask for a motion to surplus the one we have, if and when we find one.
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Was this you found this semi? Just,
We.
Who got the better price?
I negotiated a really good deal, just
Yeah.
for the record.
yeah, for a vehicle that doesn't work.
Commissioner Barrett drove it. I mean, it 245,000 miles, that's low for a semi, so.
All right.
Anyway, that's why we have great mechanics at the road department.
Yep.
So, anyway,
All right.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Board appointments. We got a bunch of them. Okay. Okay, this is going to take a minute. Here we go. Motion, I need a motion to appoint Matt Carter to the Fair Dealing Olive Fire Department Board to fill the vacated position of Joel Pace, term to expire 6/30/27.
So move.
Is there a second? Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Most of these I'm reading, some legislator woke up and decided that if you did not live in the district, you could not serve on a fire board. They have no clue how hard it is to get people to volunteer to serve on fire boards, or they would not have done such a thing. But thankfully, we're moving in the right direction on this anyway. The next one, need a motion to appoint Todd Lee to the West Marshall Fire District Board to fill the vacated position of Emily Martin, term to expire 6/30/28.
So move.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Steve Boland to Palma-Brownsburg Fire District to fill the vacated position of Nick Darnell, term to expire 6/30/27.
So move.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to appoint Michael Crawford to East Marshall Fire District to fill the vacated position of George Connect, term to expire 6/30/26.
So move.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to reappoint Nathan Hawley to West Marshall Fire District Board, term to expire 6/30/29.
So move.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to reappoint Jason Story to Palma-Brownsburg Fire District Board, term to expire 6/30/2029.
So move.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to appoint Tom Munsterman to Possum Trot Sharp Fire District Board, term to expire, did I say reappointment? That's a reappointment. Okay. Term to expire 6/30/2029.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We had nuisance board on here. We do not have a candidate for that at this time. Okay.
Do we have enough on there for a quorum?
Yes,
That's good.
if they show up.
Hearing on the 15th.
Okay, need a motion to reschedule the May 15th fiscal court meeting to Tuesday, May 26th at 8 a.m.
So moved.
Second.
8, yeah.
You good with that?
26, Tuesday, yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Appropriation transfer, Jerica?
There are only a couple of appropriation transfers on there this time. They're department head requests and then just some moving of the fiscal court lines, the ones that are labeled fiscal court. There's also a transient tax transfer, $22,395.20.
We approve the transfers.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any bank transfers?
We do. There are 4 budgeted subsidies on there, from the occupational tax fund to the general fund, road fund, jail fund, and sheriff fund. There are also 2 bank transfers that are a result of our appropriation transfers that we approved at the last meeting.
Move we approve the bank transfers.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to pay the bills.
Pay the bills. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, I need a motion for a recess. Our public hearing does not start until 9:30. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we'll call this meeting back to order and going to open the public hearing. Mr. Pagel, would you please read the road reviewer's report?
Yes, sir. Okay, so during the April 21st, 2026 session of fiscal court, the court appointed Roy Watkins, road superintendent, Andrew Lepisto, the GIS IT chair, and me, Andrew Pagel, deputy judge, to review the end of Holmes Lane, to review the claim that the county wishes to discontinue the portion of the road beyond the existing blacktop at the end of that road. It was advertised, the meeting for today at 9:30 was advertised in April 30th issue of the Tribune. Prior to that, Andrew Lepisto and I placed required notices in 3 places, on the signpost of 3 places, at the end of Holmes Road, Gatlin Lane, and a nearby county line sign. So here's what we found. There are some characteristics we noted. This asphalt road originates at Oak Level Road. The asphalt ends at approximately 0.806 miles. You could call that 4,255 feet from the center of Oak Level Road. There was a short gravel drive before a tree line beyond the end of the asphalt. We concluded that the 2022 road resolution listed .807 miles as Holmes Lane's length. The county argues that the area beyond the asphalt serves no public purpose, and the county sees no public need for its continuance beyond the asphalt. That is the report that we have.
Okay, thank you. You have heard the report. Is there anyone present to speak in favor of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no public purpose and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Yes, sir? Step up to the podium.
Morning.
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 I'm Kent Hall. I'm resident there at the endpoint since 1996. And I am here to support the county's notion or intent. And I brought some additional supporting information. I've got 4 or 5 copies. I'm not sure who gets one, but I'll just hit the highlights, not to take the court's time. So my letter of support includes historical context, aerial photos for the past 30 years of its use, historical maps predating improvements going back to the 1930s when the original homestead was established there. And basically, the road was a glorified driveway, a horse and buggy lane, if you will, and the maps show it. And so, since 1996, though, the county extended the blacktop, as Mr. Pagel indicated, to the point where it is. As you can see in the aerial photos, and I won't go point by point, but you can see the existence of the gravel driveway that turned into my property from the end of the end point, if you will, of the blacktop. And that's where the old homestead was before it was torn down and we established a new driveway and a new house. And the survey and the aerial photos will show that indication. In my packet there, you'll see a red line, and that's the approximate end point of the blacktop where the additional 47 feet or so of gravel exists as it turns into my property, essentially. You can see how it doglegs there at the end of what's perceived as the right-of-way. And it was originally cut out of my property way back when it was a homestead. So my intent of this letter of support proposes that and formally requests that the county ends the right-of-way, releases it, vacates it according to the Kentucky road law and additional references that I've listed. The county has no obligation to maintain or pave it because it serves no public use. And ending jurisdiction would save the county taxpayers undue burden of maintenance and the cost of paving 47 more feet to the end of the tree line, which is my property. So, it makes no sense. And if you do that, if you were inclined to pave it, you're going to open yourself up to many additional potential extensions of road throughout the county, and I'll find them. But you're going to extend your potential impact cost if you go ahead and decide that you do want to blacktop this. We'll find some additional roads that needs to be paved. So basically, I just want to support the notion of ending the right-of-way, and then I'm formally requesting that. And then I'm going to also, because of the 30 years of my maintaining that and the obvious indications based on the aerial and the survey that original property was cut out of my plot for the homestead driveway, I'm going to ask through a quick claim deed to recover that back into my property and reincorporate it, the 47 feet plus or minus, with the width of that right-of-way. But as you see, I laid that out here in writing and then in photos, and then the historical maps as mentioned, and then the attachments as mentioned for the formal request to vacate and release the gravel segment beyond the end point of the blacktop, and then expressing that in a quitclaim deed where I will pay whatever customary fee to put this to rest once and for all. Any questions?
So I have one, if it's okay. Or do you need to go first?
No, go ahead.
I guess my question, when seeing the other documentation too, it was a survey, because I went and searched, and I don't see that, that there was a survey that was recorded, so I'm glad that you brought this survey, because it's the first that I can remember seeing one anyway.
It's on file in the county. It's just under a different name there, and it's listed.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I probably searched by name, so.
Correct.
So I guess I can't legally, Jason, my question was, that's exactly, I guess, what he's proposing, but this is one of those situations where it's mentioned, it's on the survey as a public road, but there's plenty of public roads out there on surveys that aren't county maintained. It does not, number one, just because a road is in the survey does not mean that it is a county maintained road. Correct? First.
It's a reference location on a deed
Right.
description to give it an idea location of the pin that the surveyor used as reference.
Correct.
All county roads are public roads. Not all
Yes.
public roads are county
county
roads.
roads.
Yeah.
Right. So, in this particular case, if we did discontinue at a point, then how do you determine the owner of that survey?
Well,
Or that portion?
Yeah, so what this proceeding is going under is KRS 178 070, I believe is KRS 178 070. And then if you also look at Bailey v. Preserve Rural Roads of Madison County, which is a Supreme Court case from 2011, I believe. And let me just read to you. It talks a little bit about the interaction between KRS 178-116 and KRS 178-070. So KRS 178-116 is basically a statute that deals with abandonment. So that's what happens basically as operation of law under certain circumstances. We're not proceeding under KRS 178-116. We're proceeding under 178-070, which is, the petition is, or the proposal is to discontinue, take affirmative action to discontinue the road. So that's the difference between the two statutes. But anyway, let me read the part of this case here. KRS 178-116, Section 4 provides a third scenario, so there's different scenarios that can come into play. When a county road is discontinued under the provisions of KRS 178-070, all the landowners along the road who use that road for necessary access may petition the fiscal court to either keep the road open for their private use only or have the land under the roadbed revert back to the original owners. Implicit in this subsection is that if the landowners do not file a petition in accordance with KRS 178-1164, the road remains open as a public road.
Okay.
I'm filing that petition, and I'll also indicate in my letter of support here that the county essentially has abandoned that to just right past my driveway where they turn around for mowing and for snow plows.
But
They never go to the end point.
The 116 does provide that that has to be a joint petition. So all the landowners have to, either all the landowners have to agree on one scenario or another. If the landowners don't agree, the county discontinues, then it remains a public road until the landowners decide to agree on something.
That's not going to happen.
That's what the law says, so.
Again, reverting back to the original owner, that's where I'm going.
Okay. Any more?
I don't have a copy of the other survey, but do we know on the, I guess we'll find out here in just a minute, maybe. On the other survey, I mean, most of those that join each other, it would be on both surveys, correct? You know what I'm saying?
So looking at the survey and the deed description, you have one property that is essentially road frontage and not crossing into the road itself. And then the road is cut from the original survey that you see and the overhead pictures that you see with the outline. You can see where the road was taken from that original plot. It was not cut from 50-50 or, half and half, or a property line was not established down the center of the road. The county has right-of-way 9 foot in both directions. And that's clear. However, what I'm asking is the section from my property that's gravelled out to the end point of the blacktop be released and vacated by the county for right-of-way purposes, and that I'm going to claim that as back into my original property from which it came. That's all I'm asking.
So is that, there's a gate here, right? At the end of the, there is not a gate there?
No.
Oh, where's the gate? There's a gate here somewhere, right?
There's another photo. You can see a gate up closer to the mailbox, far before the blacktop ends. A functional gate that belongs to my neighbor. It was one of the first photos, sorry.
Oh. Okay.
So that's the functional gate access, and that's about where the county stops mowing and stops snow plowing.
Okay.
And then they turn around in my driveway.
So there's not a gate behind where
No,
this
sir.
trailer is pictured?
Not functional.
Okay.
It's fenced in.
It's fenced, okay.
You bought the property in 96, the property that we're talking about, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 96. And how much frontage do you have on Holmes Lane?
All of it along my entire, you don't have the packet, do you?
Yeah, I've got it.
The entire, you can see all along the entire length of Holmes Lane to where my property starts there at the curve at the creek, up to the end point of the blacktop and beyond, and then it doglegs over.
So you have frontage along the entire length of Holmes Lane, from Oak Level Road to the end of the blacktop?
Not Oak Level Road, sorry. No.
Okay,
I don't know what mile marker or foot
okay.
it starts, but
Do you know approximately how much footage you have?
no, sir.
I mean, if I'm looking at,
Second
it's
photo.
hard to read, but 1,000 plus 1,500. So is that what you're, I mean, it's not easy to read. I think that's 436 plus 6 something plus
Okay, I see now, yeah.
190 plus 3.
And your driveway to your home accesses the asphalt part of Holmes Lane, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
The new driveway does, that was established in 96.
The portion that we're here talking about, beyond where the asphalt ends, to your knowledge, has that ever been blacktopped?
No. It's always been gravel. And the satellite photos attached in the pack will show you 30 years indication of that. And those are Google. You can do it yourself. You can go on to Google and look at it. My barn is near where the old homestead was, and that's where the driveway was. You can see maps at the end of the packet that predate the improved road that shows where the homestead was, and you can extrapolate from there and look at it. It's clearly a driveway.
I don't have any other questions.
Monty, you have anything else?
No.
You have anything else, Mr. Hall?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Marty, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Good.
okay,
Thank
thank you. Is there anyone present to speak in favor of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no public purpose and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Okay, one last time. Is there anyone present to speak in favor of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no public purpose and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Okay. If not, is there anyone present to speak in opposition of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no public purpose and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Oh. Okay.
This one, okay, you have a different.
Thank you.
Judge Executive, members of the Fiscal Court, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is John Halinka. I own property on Holmes Lane. I respectfully oppose the proposed abandonment of any portion of Holmes Lane under the statute. Let me begin with presenting the factual background. My wife and I purchased our property on 633 Gatlin Road in 1988, which I will refer to as the Halinka property. Halinka property constitutes approximately 50 acres. The eastern border of this property runs along Gatlin Road, while the western border runs along Holmes Lane. The central portion of Halinka's property is heavily wooded with a deep ravine, a creek, and is impassable by heavy equipment. Holmes Lane provides critical access to the western half of my Halinka property. Holmes Lane was formally accepted into the Marshall County road system no later than 1977 with a length of 0.85 miles, which is equal to 4,488 feet. When we purchased the Halinka property in 1988, the Marshall County Road Department maintained Holmes Lane to the full historical length. Our previously detailed factual and legal basis supporting the correct historical length of 4,488 feet in my January 12 letter to Honorable Kevin Spraggs, Honorable Jason Darnell, and Commissioner Marty Barrett. You have a copy of that letter marked Exhibit 1. The previous owners of the Halinka property had installed a gate at the northern terminus of Holmes Lane, which is called the North Gate. And for several years, it was the only access point to the western portion of the Halinka property. The north post of this north gate aligns with the legal terminus of Holmes Lane. Ken and Jennifer Hall purchased the property at 805 Holmes Lane in 1996. Going forward, I'll refer to that as the Hall's property. Holmes Lane is adjacent to the eastern border of Hall's property. The legal deed and plat of the Hall property provides a legal written description along with a diagram of the north terminus of Holmes Lane. That description and diagram aligns with the north post of my north gate as the legal terminus of Holmes Lane, which is 4,488 feet or 0.85 miles. Soon after the Halls took possession of the Hall property, they began parking vehicles at the end of Holmes Lane that obstructed access to the north gate and made it impossible for large equipment and trailers to use the north gate. In hopes to resolve this access issue in a neighborly manner, I constructed at my own cost a new gate approximately 175 feet south of the north gate, which I will refer to as the south gate. Since 2004, I have personally supplemented county maintenance of the portion of Holmes Lane between my south gate and obstructions and up to the north gate when obstructions were temporarily removed. Private maintenance included right-of-way mowing, 2 to 3 times per year, herbicide treatment, twice a year, and periodically clearing bricks, blocks, and fence posts scattered on Holmes Lane between north and south gates. In 2018, just days before Holmes Lane was scheduled to be resurfaced by the road department, the Halls parked their recreational vehicle in front of my south gate. This action obstructed all access to my property and prevented resurfacing of approximately 230 feet of Holmes Lane. A portion of Holmes Lane remains obstructed today, and at least 230 feet of Holmes Lane is still in poor condition. A diagram detailing the terminus and obstructions of Holmes Lane is included in your packet with a yellow tab labeled Exhibit 2. Photos of Holmes Lane obstructions are included in Exhibits 3, 4, and 5. Since 2018, I have written to the fiscal court numerous times to formally request 2 actions. First, to correct the material error in the Marshall County road list concerning the length of Holmes Lane, and second, to complete resurfacing consistent with the county's historical and legal obligations. The county has acknowledged the obstructions placed on Holmes Lane as improper and has directed their removal. In 2018, after the parked RV prevented paving of the legal length of Holmes Lane, the Marshall County Road Superintendent ordered Mr. and Mrs. Hall to remove their recreational vehicles and other items from the road right-of-way. That letter is included in your packet as Exhibit 6. In 2019, County Attorney Jason Darnell informed me unequivocally that the county has not abandoned any portion of Holmes Lane. That email is included as Exhibit 1C. On May 22nd, 2023, Marshall County Judge Executive directed the sheriff to ensure the removal of vehicles from the right-of-way. The Marshall County Sheriff's Department have ordered the removal of vehicles from the road right-of-way multiple times, with the most recent order in 2025. On October 21st, 2025, I met with Road Superintendent at Holmes Lane. Prior to that meeting, The right-of-way has been mowed and maintained by the road department up to the 4,320-foot length, which is equivalent to 0.81 miles. On April 21st, 2026, I received notice from the Marshall County Judge Executive that the Marshall County Fiscal Court proposed to discontinue the portion of Holmes Lane beyond approximately 0.806 miles, equivalent to 4,256 feet. Now let's review the legal standard. KRS 178116 is included in your packet as Exhibit 7. Under this statute, before discontinuing a road, the fiscal court must determine A, the road is unnecessary to meet a public need. B, the road is unnecessary for access to a private person's farm, tract of land, or dwelling. And C, the road has not been maintained or policed within a 3-year period. The legal standard is not met here. Instead, the evidence demonstrates that the full length of Holmes Lane is necessary to provide access for future development of my property to meet a public need. For access to my private property and was maintained and policed by the county within a 3-year period. The current proceeding represents a new proposed deprivation of public right-of-way. The public notice dated April 21st states that the portion of Holmes Lane proposed for discontinuance is that point beyond approximately 0.80 miles. I'm sorry, it's 0.806 miles, the existing blacktop, as measured from the intersection of Oak Level Road to Holmes Lane. Please note that 0.806 miles is equivalent to 4,256 miles. The notice further states that the fiscal court does not believe that maintenance beyond that point serves any public purpose or interest. This notice establishes that the basis for the proposed abandonment is not the legal extent of the public right-of-way, but rather the current extent of pavement or existing blacktop. This distinction is critical. The legal status and extent of a county road is not defined by the location of pavement, but by formal acceptance and right-of-way of any subsequent law action of the fiscal court pursuant to statute. If Holmes Lane is discontinued to a length of 0.806 miles as proposed, Holmes Lane will end before the entrance of my south gate. If this proposed discontinuance is adopted, I will lose complete access to the western half of my property. Proposed discontinuance of Holmes Lane by fiscal court does not meet the legal standards established by the KRS statute. Recall that if even one of these 3 conditions exist, the road cannot be discontinued or abandoned. The county must show that Holmes Lane beyond 0.806 miles is not necessary for access to private property. This is not for a public need and has not been maintained or policed in 3 years. Holmes Lane remains necessary for access to private property. Access to my farm from Holmes Lane is required for farming operations. I typically have hay baled off this portion of my acreage and is then sold to local farmers. Access is needed for timber harvesting, West Kentucky Rural Electric Company electric power lines that supply power to my home, to homes on Holmes Lane, transect my property. My gate on Holmes Lane provides the only point of accessibility to their large maintenance vehicles to service power lines and to clear trees, brush beneath those lines. If you recall, the south gate exists as a workaround, not as a substitute for the original and primary access point. The full length of Holmes Lane remains necessary to preserve lawful and functional access to the Halinka property. If the fiscal court enacts the proposed discontinuance of Holmes Lane, the western portion of Halinka property will be inaccessible by farm equipment, logging equipment, West Kentucky Rural Electric maintenance vehicles. Access would be possible only if I constructed a significant personal cost given the rugged geography surrounding the proposed shortened portion of Holmes Lane, another new entrance to the Halinka property. Holmes Lane remains necessary to meet a public need. Several economic development projects which would serve the public interest are currently under review. One opportunity is a proposed lease with Verizon Wireless for the construction and operation of a telecommunications tower at or near the terminus of Holmes Lane. Please see Exhibit 8. Another opportunity is to self-fund the tower and lease the tower to multiple carriers. This project requires secure, controlled private access to a fenced area in which their company would have sole access. That type of entrance can only be accommodated by access through the north gate located at the terminus of Holmes Lane, which is 4,488 feet, or 0.85 miles, from Oak Level Road. The proposed location of this cell tower is shown in Exhibit 2. Secure access to the telecommunication tower through the south gate would prevent my own access to the property and access by West Kentucky Rural Electric. Abandonment of the north portion of Holmes Lane would effectively eliminate this development opportunity, which is contrary to the public and economic interest. And by the way, we have really poor cell phone coverage in the area that we live in. Abandonment of the north portion of Holmes Lane would also eliminate other projects on this tract of property under evaluation that would benefit the public. A housing development project is in progress on Gatlin Road, and depending on its success, we are considering subdividing our own farm for construction of multiple home sites, approximately half of which would require access from Holmes Lane. Other projects to which we have been approached and are considering are a Harvest Host campsite, glamping development, tiny home rentals. We are in the conceptual phase to organize and host a Christian-themed festival called Grace Fest, which would require the use of our fields off of Holmes Lane for guest parking and would require both the north and south gates for entry, and one for entry and one for exiting, because we anticipate thousands of attendees. The KRR statute also requires the county to show that the road under consideration has not been maintained or policed within a three-year period. Holmes Lane has been maintained and policed within the last 3 years. Within the last 3 years, Marshall County Judge Executive has directed the sheriff to ensure the removal of vehicles from the right-of-way. The Marshall County Sheriff deputies have ordered the removal of vehicles from the road right-of-way multiple times, with the most recent in 2025. On October 21st, 2025, the road department mowed and maintained Holmes Lane up to the 4,320 feet length. These actions demonstrate that the Judge Executive, the Sheriff's Department, and the Road Department have acknowledged the illegal obstruction of Holmes Lane right-of-way by a private citizen. Abandonment to this portion of a public road under these circumstances would improperly reward private encroachment and obstruction. The conditions or extent of pavement does not define legal road limits or public necessity. The fiscal court notice apparently reliance on existing blacktop as the boundary for abandonment is not supported by Kentucky law. The county road does not cease to exist, nor does it become unnecessary for public use simply because it is in poor condition or maintenance has been limited or obstructed, particularly when the conditions have been caused by bad faith actions of the party now seeking to claim private use over the county road. The legal existence and extent of Holmes Lane is established by historical acceptance into the Marshall County road system, documented length of 4,488 feet, 0.85 miles, and the absence of any fiscal court action reducing that length. Importantly, the lack of maintenance beyond 0.806 mile point is not evidence of lack of public necessity, but rather it is direct result of repeated obstruction of the public right-of-way by a private party, which has prevented access, interfered with maintenance, and created the false appearance that the road is unused. To base abandonment on the current extent of pavement under these circumstances would improperly allow the private obstruction to dictate the limits of public road. Such as a result is inconsistent with the statute and contrary to the public interest. We appeal to the court's sense of fairness and ethics. Our Christian faith guides us individually and as a community to act fairly and ethically. My wife and I have done everything right in this dispute over Holmes Lane. We supplemented county maintenance of Holmes Lane to its terminus. We have tried to work with the Halls to find a compromise. We have worked with the county to clarify the boundaries of Holmes Lane. We've shown that the legal length of Holmes Lane has been consistently recorded as 0.85 miles in length, equivalent to 4,488 feet. Failure to maintain and resurface Holmes Lane to the full legal extent is due to errors in the road department records and because of the obstructions purposely placed on Holmes Lane to block access. The Halls have been bad actors. They have deliberately obstructed both us and the county workers from accessing a public road. The Halls have been repeatedly ordered to remove obstructions, but have acted to either ignore those orders or remove them only temporarily. To reward such wanton and intentional bad behavior by abandoning the obstructed portions of a public road would incentivize other bad actors to do the same in the future. To reward this bad behavior would be both unfair and unethical. In conclusion, the full legal extent of Holmes Lane to the north post of my north gate remains necessary for public and private access. Any perceived reduction in use is the direct result of a private obstruction, not a lack of need. Abandonment of any portion of Holmes Lane based on the current extent of pavement or maintenance conditions, particularly where these conditions were caused by obstruction, would improperly redefine the public right-of-way based on temporary and artificial factors rather than lawful action. The proposed abandonment would impair property rights, eliminate valuable development opportunities, and improperly transfer public benefit to private properties. Private parties. For these reasons, I respectfully request that the Fiscal Court deny the proposed abandonment of any portion of Holmes Lane, enforce removal of private obstructions from the right-of-way, and restore the maintenance of the road to its full legal length of 0.85 miles. That is to the north post of my north gate on the terminus of Holmes Lane. Abandonment is not an appropriate or justified response to obstruction and conflicts with multiple Kentucky statutes. These statutes were written and adopted to preserve private property rights in situations like the one at hand. Are there any questions for me?
How much road frontage do you have on Holmes Lane?
I don't know exactly how much.
The blacktopped portion?
I don't know, 300-400 feet.
Okay. And the gate that you have, that I believe you refer to it as the south gate, right?
Yes, there's a north gate and a south gate.
Through that south gate, can you get to your property on Holmes Lane?
Yes.
And can you then access?
However, the amount of road you're going to replace, you're going to landlock me. The proposal is going to put the end of maintenance and road acceptance south of the gate.
The proposal is north of that gate.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The proposal of the south gate is along the blacktop portion, correct?
Correct.
That's not that's not the portion we're talking about.
Based on the measurement, it puts it south of the south gate. Based on that distance that you're proposing.
No, we're just talking about beyond the asphalt.
But you gave a hard measurement of 0.806 miles.
Where the blacktop ends is what we're talking about, beyond that
Which
point.
blacktop are you talking about?
The blacktop.
There's a blacktop at .8.
Wherever the blacktop ends, beyond that point.
There's blacktop at .818, and you're proposing to reduce it to .806.
Well, we're just talking about where the blacktop currently ends. Okay, so that the blacktop, where the blacktop is currently, that you have access through your south gate, correct?
Yes,
And you can access your entire 50 acres through that gate, is that correct?
yes, but that does not take into consideration of potential future development projects.
And those development projects are speculative at this point, is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, but that doesn't matter here. They may happen or they may not. It's an opportunity that we're considering. And if you take
Speculative
this
nature of
action,
it
you will-
does matter.
Excuse me.
The speculative
Respectfully,
nature
I'd
of
like
it
to
does
mention-
matter. You could, I mean, like you said, you could change your mind tomorrow on all those projects. Is that fair to say?
The projects are under review. It's an opportunity of development.
You
and
could
would-
change your
and you would-
mind
you would
tomorrow.
effectively take that opportunity away from us.
You could change your mind tomorrow.
It may or may not be built,
Okay.
that's correct. But if you do this, you will effectively cancel that project.
And just once again, you can access your entire property through that south gate.
We can only accept part of the property through that gate.
What part of the property can you not access through the south gate?
The eastern portion.
And how is that so?
There's a ravine and a creek transecting almost our farm in half.
That's a natural occurrence? Yeah, that's not anything man-made or
No.
anything like that? Okay. You've had the property since 1988?
Correct.
Beyond what's blacktop now, has that portion beyond the blacktop ever been blacktop since you've had the property?
I don't know one way or another, but I know it's been maintained. The county used to mow it and, move the gravel around, smooth it out, whatever.
But you have no knowledge of it being blacktopped?
No, I don't. I'd also like to mention here that blacktop is not a purpose for having the road in the legal system. The road's been accepted in the system from at least 1977, so lack of maintenance is not a reason to take a road out of.
Well, we're here to decide whether or not to discontinue that. So when it was taken in is not really relevant.
Let me ask a question here. So if I'm looking at Mr. Hall's survey, I don't have a survey on your property, so I can't determine what your side looks like. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So, but if I'm looking at this side, it appears to me that where that public road ends begins his property. So if that north gate is there, and maybe it isn't right there, because I don't see a picture of the north gate. Maybe you have one in the exhibit.
Yeah, I do.
And
I don't have the document you're looking at.
Okay,
I would go to my documents, Exhibit 2,
okay, but,
and then Exhibit 4 shows my north gate. Yeah, 2 more. Yeah, that one there. That shows the north gate, that shows the boundary marker for the Hall's property. If you go back to Exhibit 2. Exhibit 2 shows the terminus of Holmes Lane per historical documents and also the Hall's deed. Exhibit 2 also shows where we have a proposed location for the cell tower.
Yeah, I just don't know that drawing doesn't seem to match the actual picture. Because if I mean, it appears to me by the picture that the south gate is before you get to the end of the blacktop. Am I correct about that?
No.
I'm not correct about that.
We have 2 gates. We have a north gate and a south gate.
Yeah, I understand, but the south gate is accessible by blacktop.
Yes.
Okay. To define what blacktop is?
Yes, prior to 2018, the blacktop extended past our south gate. We know that. I don't know if it ever went to the dead end, but it did go beyond our south gate. In 2018, when they were resurfacing Holmes Lane, Mr. Hall parked his RV right beyond his driveway, so that it blocked the paving all the way to the original end of the blacktop. So when you say blacktop, are you referring to the 2018 blacktop or to the one that was prior to that?
I'm referring to what it looks like right now. I'm saying currently at this date.
If you go by the numbers.
Yeah, but I'm not asking about, I know the focus there is numbers, and I understand where you're coming from there. I do, I get it. What my point is what it actually looks like now. Is that blacktop past the south gate currently?
Yes, it is.
The repavement of blacktop does not go to our south gate. When it was repaved in 2018, it did not go to our south gate because his RV was blocking.
Blacktop, whether new or old, it's blacktop. Runs past the south gate.
Yeah, considerably past the south gate, not the north gate,
Don't matter.
but
if
it
it's
goes
new or-
past the south gate considerably.
Blacktop does not define a road. What has been accepted into,
I mean, you said a minute ago it did not go past it. It goes past it probably, what, 100 foot or more?
but that's really irrelevant because
No, it's not, because his question was, does it go past the south gate? That was his question.
Well, allow
And
me
it
to clear
does go past the south gate.
up. I think this could clear up. If you look at Exhibit 2, it says incorrect terminus of Holmes Lane, length 4320. That's where the old asphalt ends. Okay, so that's between the north and south gates. The most recent asphalt resurfacing is marked terminus 2018 resurfacing due to obstruction. So there's old asphalt that's in poor condition, and then there's newer asphalt. And this drawing identifies those 2 locations.
Roy, whether it be new asphalt or old asphalt, about how many feet of asphalt goes beyond the south gate?
65 feet.
Would you agree with that, 65
I
feet?
don't know how much.
Whether old or new, there is asphalt that goes beyond your south gate.
North of the south gate, yes.
The portion that is not blacktopped, not asphalted, Are you aware, Roy, are you aware of that ever being blacktopped?
I'm not aware of it, no.
I don't have any other questions.
I guess you have one assertion that says that if we blacktop to the specific feet of .806, that we would restrict your access,
Yes, I believe.
where you
that-
would be landlocked.
I believe that location that you just described is south of my south gate.
Do you believe that to be true?
I don't believe it would be landlocked, no.
Would it be, is .806 past, that's the 65 feet past the south gate, correct? Or, no.
I think it's to the end of the new blacktop.
I don't know if
Somebody's talking.
.806 is past the south gate.
Okay. You don't know? Okay, that's fine.
We walked it the other day with a wheel. So 4,289 feet is to the end of the existing blacktop.
4,000 what?
4,289 feet is what we wheeled off with a walking wheel. Now, the end of the blacktop is jagged. We tried our best. We picked the furthest point to measure that blacktop.
Just so everybody's clear, the portion that we're talking about discontinuing is the point beyond that blacktop.
Correct.
Which is north of his south gate
Correct.
by 65 feet according to your measurements.
Approximately 65
Yep.
feet.
We're not talking about discontinuing anything south of your south gate.
And let's go back to the first discussion of if we did this, the process at that point. What you are stating is that unless they came to an agreement of what that continued portion, what happens with that, if they cannot agree, that remains a public road. So he would have access across it. It would not be asphalt, but he would have access across it to access the north gate.
That's what the Supreme Court said in Bailey versus Preserve Rural Roads of Madison County, Inc.
Does that?
That solves one problem. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. However, we're requesting the fiscal court to correct your records. We have discovered a material mistake in your records.
But you're asking for the correction. You're not just asking for a correction in the records. You're asking for a correction in the records and paving up to.
Of course,
Yeah,
as a
well.
citizen, I'm entitled to that.
Under what law?
If you maintain the roads, you need to maintain the whole road.
What law would require us to, even if we said no, even if we voted in your favor, what law would require us to blacktop that?
I can't cite that law.
Yeah, I think the key there is maintained, and blacktop are two different
Well,
standards. True.
resurfacing is part of maintenance. There's a lot of components when you say maintaining a road. Right, mowing and snow removal.
Yeah.
I think the first step is to correct the documents. And actually, before you make any changes to the road, you should correct your documents first, so you know exactly how much you're removing. So we have two parts to our request, is to correct your documents.
You have anything else, Commissioner Collins? You have anything else, Mr. Flink?
I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Marty, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Is there anyone present to speak in opposition of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no public purpose, and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Okay.
My name is Karen Holinka. Like my husband, John, I respectfully oppose the proposed abandonment of any portion of Holmes Lane based on Kentucky statutes. When we purchased our property in 1988, the previous owners pointed out the dead end of Holmes Lane as aligning with the north post of our north gate. On November 17th, 2025, John and I met with Judge Executive Spraggs and Commissioner Barrett to discuss our concerns that Holmes Lane was not being maintained to its proper dead end. We were told that the road department records showed the length of Holmes Lane as 4,320 feet, which is a considerable distance short of the dead end, and they had no record of that length ever being changed by the fiscal court. We asked the question, if we find documentation that, historically, Holmes Lane has been formally accepted into the system at a length greater than 4,320 feet, will that documentation serve as evidence that Holmes Lane should be maintained by the county to that greater length? The answer was yes. So we set to work. On November 18th, 2025, John submitted an open records request seeking any and all records related to Holmes Lane. We also did research on our own. As a result of that research, we did find documentation that the length of Holmes Lane has consistently been reported as 0.85 miles in length, which is equivalent to 4,488 feet. We found no documentation recording a formal change in that historical length, as would be required by KRS 178.070. We summarized our findings in a letter dated January 12th, 2026, addressed to Judge Executive Spraggs, County Attorney Darnell, and Commissioner Barrett. That letter was presented to you earlier by John as Exhibit 1. Please allow me to highlight the findings presented in that letter. We found internal inconsistencies in the current county records. If you'll return to Exhibit 1A, Exhibit 1A is not page numbered, but it's the fourth page of Exhibit 1. There you'll find a table from the 2025 Marshall County Road Department Road Information List, which contains an internal inconsistency regarding the length of Holmes Lane. The road information list describes the total length of Holmes Lane as 4,320 feet. However, within that same document, under the heading R/W, which stands for right-of-way, Holmes Lane is shown as being comprised of 0.60 miles at a 24-foot width, which then narrows to an additional 0.25 miles at an 18-foot width. These right-of-way segments of 0.60 plus 0.25 total 0.85 miles. 0.85 miles correctly converts to 4,488 feet. 0.85 miles does not equal 4,320 feet, as shown on that document. That number is an error in the Marshall County Road Department report. Authoritative historical documentation confirms this 0.85 mile length. If you'll turn to Exhibit 1B, this is a page copied from the Marshall County Road and Bridge Inventory and Needs Assessment Study and is dated 1977. This document was prepared by the Purchase Area Development District under the supervision and administration of the Commonwealth of Kentucky Department of Transportation. The material relevant to Holmes Lane is presented in the column to the far right on that page. The inventory and needs assessment study documents that Holmes Lane was formally accepted by the state of Kentucky into the Marshall County road system no later than 1977, inventory number C-78, series number 1294, page 40. It identifies the right-of-way segmentation of 0.60 miles plus 0.25 miles, thus confirming the correct legal length of Holmes Lane is 0.85 miles. I recently reviewed KRS 179.350. It states that public roads are to be measured in miles when reported to the Kentucky Department of Highways. Also note that Exhibit 1B describes the road location as extending from Highway 408 to the dead end. Our research further showed no lawful reduction or abandonment of Holmes Lane under KRS 178.070. Under this statute, a county road may be discontinued, relocated, or reduced in length only by formal action of the fiscal court, entered by order upon its records. In response to our November 2025 open records request, Deputy Judge Executive Pagel conducted a search of fiscal court records and found no evidence that the fiscal court ever took formal action to reduce, discontinue, or abandon any portion of Holmes Lane. Exhibit 1C refers to the email from County Attorney Jason Darnell to Paula Coleman, legal assistant to Charles Walters, which confirms this fact. Here, Mr. Darnell clearly states, and I quote, "The county has not abandoned any portion of Holmes Lane." On December 11th, 2025, John personally reviewed fiscal court order and meeting minutes from 1977 through the most recently published records and found no evidence of any formal action reducing the length of Holmes Lane. Accordingly, the currently published reduced length of 4,320 feet lacks any legal basis under Kentucky law. Marshall County road records consistently report the length of Holmes Lane as 0.85 miles. That is equivalent to 4,488 feet. Holmes Lane has undergone continuous county maintenance to the full historical terminus. The legal length of Holmes Lane, extending from Highway 408 to its dead end, a length of 0.85 miles, is further verified by longstanding county maintenance of Holmes Lane to its full historical length. As stated earlier, when we purchased our property in 1988, which borders Holmes Lane, the prior owners, Al and Mary Pokley, pointed out the dead end of Holmes Lane and said that the Marshall County Road Department maintained the road to that gate at the dead end terminus. My husband and I have personally observed this maintenance over many years. Whether it was blacktop or gravel, I'm not sure, but it was maintained up to that dead end, the full dead end. That terminus coincides with the documented 0.85 mile length and recorded location of Highway 408 to the dead end and is consistent with the Hall's 1996 deed and plat description. This past week, I reviewed the Kentucky statutes that relate to county roads and their maintenance. Based on the county's own records, state supervised inventory documentation, the absence of any lawful reduction under KRS 178.070, and decades of continuous county maintenance, the current Marshall County Road Information List is incorrect. Additionally, when the road was last resurfaced in 2018, the halls were in violation of KRS 179.240, which states that a landowner cannot obstruct a public road. Obstructions parked on the road prevented resurfacing of the north portion of Holmes Lane. The then county road superintendent did not follow the proper procedures to have those obstructions removed. These procedures are presented in KRS 179.210, 179.070, and 179.020. Furthermore, to discontinue any portion of Holmes Lane would be in violation of KRS 178.116. John has clearly shown that Holmes Lane provides necessary access to a portion of our property that is necessary for both private and public, present and future uses. Future use is to be considered when determining necessity of a road. KRS 178.080 states that when evaluating the need for alterations of a public road, the evaluators should keep in view the possible future development of the county. Abandoning any portion of Holmes Lane would eliminate lawful access and possible future use. Accordingly, as a Marshall County citizen, I respectfully request that the fiscal court take action to, first, deny the proposed abandonment of any portion of Holmes Lane. Second, enforce removal of private obstructions from the right-of-way. And 3, correct and maintain the county road records to properly report the full legal accepted length of Holmes Lane as 0.85 miles, equivalent to 4,488 feet, that is, to the north post of my north gate at the terminus of Holmes Lane. What is being proposed here today is a permanent removal of a public right-of-way that directly affects access, property values, and future use. Verizon Wireless has identified our north gate as a viable, secure access point for the construction of a much-needed cell tower. Whether or not that specific project progresses to fruition is irrelevant. Their assessment emphasizes the value of that right-of-way. Abandonment here would reward illegal obstruction and eliminate a necessary public right-of-way. Thank you for your consideration.
I've got one question. Do you all have a recorded survey of your property?
Yes, we do.
The adjoining
Wait a
landowner.
minute. The key to what his question right there was recorded. It is recorded in the courthouse? Because I did not find a recorded plat under your name, but you're saying it is?
It is, I found it.
Okay. Do you have the plat book or plat cabinet or anything?
What are you asking?
You don't have the plat cabinet number, file number, anything like that, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
The portion that we're talking about today, the adjoining landowners are just the Halinka property and the Hall property. Is that
Yes.
correct? There's no other third parties that are involved. Is that
No.
fair? Is that correct? Mr. Hall, do you agree with that as well?
I do.
Okay.
Just want to emphasize again, KRS 178.118 says that the standard for abandoning or discontinuing, changing a county road has to be based on necessity. It doesn't matter, the road isn't defined by how much traffic it gets or the condition of the road. It's based on the necessity, the need, and we have shown that we have a need for it, that entire length of Holmes Lane. We never abandoned it.
You said 118, but you meant 116, right? 178, 116.
116.
Just want to make sure we're.
Anybody else have anything? Anything else, Ms. Lincoln?
I just want to say you've got at least 2 real estate agents in this room, and you understand the value of road frontage. You would be taking away our road frontage. That would be taking away the value of our property.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone present to speak in opposition of the county's position that the portion of Holmes Lane beyond the currently maintained blacktop serves no purpose, no public purpose, and that the county sees no need for the road's continuance beyond the asphalt? Okay, if not, I'm going to close the public hearing.
I have a rebuttal. Please, I have a rebuttal.
Oh. Do I need to do anything, Jason, on the hearing? Okay.
I'm not going to get into he said, she said, or slander anyone. I just want to point out that my wife and I, the owners of Little Caesars and longstanding residents of Marshall County and an honorably retired veteran, have been slandered here today, and it's in record. And I just wanted to point that out. We've never been called bad actors or anything illegal. It's quite the opposite. We're very charitable, and we help everybody we can, including many employees here in Marshall County. So I take offense to some of the things that were said today. And when I would invite this group to go out the Holmes Lane. Look at that north gate. It's dilapidated and fenced in. So the representation is inaccurate. The south gate is pictured in my packet, and I fully agree they got full access to that half of their property. It's not disputed. The only thing in dispute is the 47-foot of gravel at the very end that used to be a driveway. We're not taking away additional road frontage or any valuable project for private benefit. That's what this is about. And it sounds like it to me, it's clear that this is about private benefit versus public benefit. So that's all I had in my closing remarks, but please go out to Holmes Lane and look for yourself.
Thank you.
And may I say one thing too? Keep in mind, when we purchased our property, the only access that we had to the back of our farm was through that north gate. Once the Halls moved into their property, they put up obstructions so that we could not use our north gate. That was why we built the south gate, was trying to get along with our neighbor. It was not in any way our rejection of that end of the road. It was not our abandonment of that end of the road. It's because we were denied access to our only entrance into our property.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will call our meeting back to order. I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation personnel per KRS 618101C and F.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'll call the meeting back to order. Just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.